Our top focus this Thursday is on proceedings inside the Gujarat Assembly. After 13 eventful years at the helm, Prime Minister designate Narendra Modi today bid farewell to the State Assembly. Modi was given a grand send-off at the Assembly with a series of speakers listing his achievements. The special Assembly session was convened to bid farewell to Modi. The session began at 11 a.m. Speaker after speaker rose to sing praises for Modi, and it was only after 12:15 that the Prime Minister designate got a chance to speak.
गुजरात ની અંદર જે રીતે માનનીય નરેન્દ્રભાઈના નેતૃત્વમાં શાસન ચાલ્યું 12 વર્ષ સુધી અવિરત એક વિકાસનો યજ્ઞ ચાલ્યો. ગુજરાત પહેલેથી વિકસિત હતું એ દલીલો હંમેશા આવે છે, પણ હું એટલું ચોક્કસ કહીશ કે નરેન્દ્રભાઈના શાસનમાં ભારતીય જનતા પાર્ટીના શાસનમાં વિકાસની જ્યાં જરૂરિયાત હતી ત્યાં વિકાસ પહોંચ્યો છે, છેવાડા સુધી પહોંચ્યો છે.
માનનીય નરેન્દ્રભાઈ મોદી દેશના વડાપ્રધાન બનવા જઈ રહ્યા છે. માનનીય અધ્યક્ષશ્રી ભારતની રાજનૈતિક સંસ્કૃતિના ઇતિહાસમાં નેતૃત્વ, સુશાસન અને વિકાસનો સમન્વય અદ્વિતીય છે. માનનીય શ્રી નરેન્દ્રભાઈ મોદીએ ગુજરાતના મુખ્યમંત્રી તરીકે આ સમન્વયને દીપાવ્યો છે. આ જ્યોત હવે રાષ્ટ્રને દીપાવશે.
Narendra Modi is expected to meet the governor between 1 and 3. It's already 2, so any time now to hand over his resignation. This will be followed by a meeting with Gujarat BJP MLAs. The name of Modi's successor, Anandi Patel, may also be announced at this meeting. Narendra Modi will conclude the day with an address to BJP workers in Gandhinagar at about 7 this evening. Let's get in a word from our editor at large, Rahul Kamal, who's joining us live from Gandhinagar this afternoon. Rahul, over to you. What are the preparations that are underway?
Well, there was a special session of the Gujarat Assembly, a very emotional affair where we saw an unprecedented bipartisan farewell for Narendra Modi. The sort of things that were said by Shankar Singh Waghela might get him into a lot of trouble within the Congress party, because he spoke in favor of Article 370, he spoke in favor of building a Ram temple, he spoke in favor of a uniform civil code, things that the Congress opposes, things that are considered the Sangh agenda. But today he spoke more as an RSS Karyakarta, he spoke also as a Gujarati, unmindful of his party affiliations. That's something that some Delhi Congress leaders have been calling to ask about what happened. They're not very happy with Shankar Singh Waghela going off the party line, but it was very interesting to see. Forget what happened when BJP ministers or when Amit Shah was speaking. Even when Congress MLAs or the NCP MLAs were speaking, the desks were being thumped. It was very interesting, because for about 5 minutes when Narendra Modi came in, there were loud chants of Bharat Mata Ki Jai. He's being hailed as a hero. He's being hailed as a lion of Gujarat who's now moving from Gandhinagar to Delhi. And everyone had a very emotional... Everyone, I think, see, what happened is, after Narendra Modi broke down yesterday and had tears in his eyes, since then everybody's been on an emotional overdrive. You just start chatting with any of Narendra Modi's aides, within seconds they choke up, they wail and they start crying. That's how emotional they are at this time. This is obviously a big moment. This is what Modi and all of them have been working on for the past several years to try and make this happen. This campaign started long before it was made official. These people have been part of that campaign, and now they're rubbing each other. As they walk down the corridors behind me here in the Gujarat Assembly, they're poking each other and saying, are you going to 7 RCR? Is Modi taking you? Is Modi not taking you? So that big guessing game going on currently. There's a mix, there's an interplay of anxiety and happiness. Happiness for Narendra Modi having reached where he has, an anxiety about what happens to their own, what happens to them in the future. Will he leave them behind? Will he take them with them? That's the big guessing game that's going on. And what makes matters really difficult is that Narendra Modi never likes to reveal his cards. He often says, like was the case earlier in Chanakya Niti, the king never reveals his cards, so much so that the courtiers and the ministers also don't know what's in his mind. That's the way it is. Even, for example, this evening, while it is fairly certain that Anandibain Patel is becoming the next chief minister, you ask her, you ask people around her, you ask others, they say we don't know. That's how secretive it is. So you can imagine what must be going through the heads of all those who could possibly be on a list of ministers to be sworn in along with Narendra Modi. Very, very secretive, a lot of names up in the air, but also the excitement of a mission finally having been accomplished. Simi.